Welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. I do want to go over other things that I didn't touch on in the What is Chaos Zero Nightmare video. So the first thing that I'll go over is going to be the combatants. If we go ahead and we can just take a look at, go with Selena. Down here, we do have their save data. So this is where you're going to go through and you're going to go do multiple runs throughout that Chaos gameplay mode. And then you'll see like, okay, hey, I had a good run here, didn't have a good run here, and then pick what it is that you want. In this screen, you can also customize your favorites. So if I made this a favorite, then I can customize it. And as you can see, we have different colors. And then on this one, we have different little stickers as well. These, from what I was able to tell, were all purely from just different achievements. And I believe some of these are also going to be given to us for the free, which is always great. Your boy loves that freebie. We can hit save, and then you can see it has it saved, so that way it can kind of stand out from the rest of the other ones, and I can say, hey, that's the one that I want to play with. Coming back to the stats page, we do have their affinity, so we can get just a little bit of gacha currency throughout here. The higher we get their affinity, going to the max of 30. We can send gifts to make it a little bit easier as well. The combat training is just going to be the actual character level. If we click on the actual material, we can either go to the place where we need to go to potentially get that item. We can merge the baby materials, or, and if I had the bigger material, we could dismantle them down from the big one to this one right here that I need. And so I really do like this. I think this is a great thing to see. I wish other games also did this, because sometimes, hey, I got a lot of one material and I need it to go up or I need it to go down. And that is a very nice quality of life. From this screen, we can go to card, and this is where we see every card that the character has. Their ego skill, which is their ultimate or their unique, however you'd like to say it, is going to be here. And it costs ego points, which basically you get as you play cards, or some cards just say, hey, here you can get +2 ego points, and then you can use their ultimate ability. Now, if we click on a card, we can kind of have that up close and personal, kind of see what the card art looks like. But the other thing that we can also see is an epiphany. Now, this is a game mechanic where there are different epiphanies, so just depending on what epiphany you get will allow you to get a different thing. The normal one, though, that I want to talk about is the epiphany that changes your card. And so, if we take a look, this high power scope, this is my base card. I get an epiphany just going through while I play the chaos game mode. And then I get the epiphany, and now I can choose. It won't be all 5. Sometimes it'll be like 2 or 3 on the options. And let's just say I choose this one right here. Then from there on out, for the rest of the run and for the rest of that save data, this high power scope will always be this card from here on out. And so now, let's say I chose this one with the joint attack. Then I can turn around and maybe look at the next card, and we can look at this epiphany, and we can say, okay, hey, we have another joint attack here. And now you can kind of start seeing like, oh, I can play into the joint attacks. I can play into maybe the mark attacks. Maybe I could go into da-da-dee-da-da-da. And it's going to be like that for every character that you play. And so these epiphanies, you want to get as many as you can, because for some characters that I've noticed, they just absolutely need their epiphanies, while others, you could kind of get away without them, but it's always going to be good to have a amplified and juiced up version of your base cards. And so here is the last set of epiphany cards for Selena, and then this is that one card that I got the live 2D of. It doesn't have an epiphany. Not every card will have an epiphany, but some cards will have them. On the next slot we have here, we're going to look at the partners. This is basically that craft essence, the support card, the basically little bit of help that we get. For every combatant that you bring, they can also have a partner, and that partner also has an ego point skill. So for 2 cost, for 1 turn I can get 3 morale. We don't have tooltips, but I do believe that's supposed to change when the game comes out, and if I recall correctly, I believe morale was percent damage increase. Now, as you can see here, only certain people will get the additional effect. So for instance, you know, I'm not gonna bring in like a healer onto this person because I'm not gonna get that extra effect. So you're gonna kind of keep it the same with who they are. You have this little symbol in the top left that you can take a look at, and then you just match them up. And if you like what it is, then definitely equip it. If you don't like what it is and it's not as synergistic, maybe it's just better to take it just to at least have something. I believe we've already touched on the save data. We'll go ahead and take a look at the potentials. So we'll start at this first one. We got to unlock it. Then we can unlock this one. And as you see, it says the base card damage, shield gain, and healing amount goes up by percent. As you follow the lines, you can go into a bigger one. So the engagement shot card is changed to piercing damage. Again, no tooltip, but I would love to assume that whenever the enemy has shields, I just pierce through the shields. I don't even need to worry about those, and I can just get that full damage on them, which makes it a very good thing for me. Then if we follow this line up here, we can go to this one, and as you can see, we have different materials. I'll show you where to get this material later because I believe these come from the same place. But this one says plus 5% damage for Selena's engagement shot. If Selena's additional damage is greater than 15%, add an additional 5. So they want you to be nuking that monster. And then as you follow this here, we get to the last one. And then we have passion attribute damage when Selena's bonus damage exceeds 30% plus 4% to that value. And so now you can kind of see like, hey, we do want these things. We do want to level these things up because these will really help bring our character together. Now for these materials, if we go to simulation and then we go to challenge, you can see I have that Wailing Prodigal right here. And then you can see that feather is that next one underneath, but they are unavailable. And then I would just assume as time goes on, we get more and more and more. The only thing is you can only challenge this 3 times a day. So you want to make sure you're doing them, and you want to make sure you're getting the correct item that you need, so that way you can progress with the character that you want to progress with. And so that's going to kind of wrap up the potential menu, and now we'll take a look at the manifest ego. This is where you go when you get extra dupes of your characters. So with this first one, the sniper's domain card gains initiation. I could be wrong, we don't have tooltip, but I think initiation is something to the effect of like, at the start of the turn, do XYZ or get XYZ. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. As you can see right here, I got a dupe of Selena, so now the mark damage is increased by 20%. So now every time I hit a person with mark, I'm hitting even harder, which is even better because as y'all saw in the potentials, if I hit over a certain amount, I get extra damage. And then as we move forward, we have a little bit of normal things here. 100% damage of last shot cards. So this is going to be our ego attack. We've got a normal thing here. And then we do have the Selena's mark is changed to hit the target 2 times instead of 1. And so as you can see, the dupes are very important for the characters because they can sometimes not even just bolster and amplify their strength, but even sometimes change it to something that they absolutely need. Now, I do want to show that for a SSR character or a 5-star character, whatever they're going to call it, they do have 6 the same way that they did on an SR or a 4-star character, like we looked on Selena. So that at the very least kind of saves us a little bit of trouble. I will say I do believe that the potentials are so very important because they're such a game changer. If you look at this, the throwing dagger gains the effect Agony 2. where beforehand this would just be a normal dagger attack, wouldn't really do anything for me. And then when I saw that that potential gave 2 agony, I was like, oh my days, she is cooking. So these potentials should not be slept on. And again, if you're missing something, you can click on it, go to simulation, and then it'll take you to where you need to go and you can just start farming. That's going to wrap up everything in the combatant area. The one thing that I want to mention in the simulation that I don't 100% know, but I believe, is that the memory fragment is where we're supposed to be able to slowly but surely farm up dupes for our characters, because it's such a game changer and we have to have a way for the free-to-plays to survive, or at least slowly catch up and have fun with the big whales. That's going to be the way that they get their dupes for XYZ favorite character. Basin of Hyperspace is unavailable to us, but this is just what I believe the memory fragment was supposed to be. Again, unavailable to us. The last place that we'll go over in this video is going to be Ark City. This is like your base, quote unquote. Now you can go to different places here. You can have like an affinity time, go on a little date with them. You can send them their gift, whatever you want to do there. And you've got different people at different places. The same person may not always be at that place every day. So if you're looking to get max affection with someone in particular, be sure to check these out. The one thing that I do want to make mentions of very quickly is that on the Epione or Epi 1 center, the psychotherapy, this is where if you complete a run and somebody was in that stressed out mode, their save loadout will go here. If you have one person that has multiple save loadouts, one of these tickets, we'll call them, will clear everything. The reason why I want to bring this up is because those tickets are also needed to do the dates with the characters. So keep that in mind, and you will only get 3 tickets per day. The next one we'll take a look at is the Garden Cafe. This I think is really cool because you can order some coffee. If you order coffee, you can get 80 energy up front, or you can get this little, I guess, to-go coffee, and it will give you 60 stamina at a later date whenever you choose, but you can only hold 4. And it does have a nice little animation. I'll let y'all see that when you see it. Here at the Starshine Diner, if you order food, you can get different kinds of buffs, and these buffs are going to be used when you go into that chaos gameplay mode. These also have really, really nice animations. Just for the sake of it, I'll go ahead and show one. And then boom. And now for my next 2 runs, I'll have plus 5% HP and plus 5% passion attribute damage for all combatants. And those just cost the little credits, the little gold, whatever that you want to call them. The next place that I want to take a look at is the research facility. This is kind of reminds me of Azure Lane. It's like you got to level up these things to go to the next level, to go to the next level, and so on and so forth. Now, some of these decreases the policy time. You know, it's just standard base building stuff. You'll get to these when you get to these. I'm sure some are going to be better than others, but you'll get them all eventually if you play long enough. Now, I saved this one for last, the policy office, because I really like this. The way this works is we have this grade system over here on the bottom left. You can see I have different markers on different bars that I need to hit. With 2 markers above the bar needed, I have an A grade. Now, the thing that's so cool to me is that the higher the grade, the more material. On here, you can see I need 65 happiness, 65 admin index, and 40 public order index. Different characters give you different boosts to XYZ thing, so make sure you line those up. The thing that's interesting to me about it is that you see we have a 17-day counter. Well, how does that work? Glad you asked. We turn around and over here you see I got 2 new policies. I get to choose what policy it is, and I get to determine what happens to this bar down here. So if I say, oh man, the economic activity, that's okay, I get +3 admin index, or I could just get +2 admin index and have no negatives, but it reduces my day counter both by 1. There are debuffs for being under a certain number, and so I'll go ahead and take this one over here. Sometimes you can see their facial expression on the left, which one that they agree with, but I'll just go with this one. We do get a little bit of affinity. And then here, I got a juicer one. I've got either 10 happiness with -4 admin index, or I could go 4 and 1. Because I do need this, I'll probably just take the happiness over here. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that before. Let's go see what that is. Oh, it unlocked a new fight. Oh, I'm gonna have to run through that. That's cool. That's actually really cool. I was not expecting that. That makes it even cooler. And now when we started at 17, I did -2 days, and now I'm down to 15. So now my choices have agency, they have meaning, and I find this to be really, really cool. Even if it's just for, you know, some materials and it's got to be a little bit extra. Honestly, who cares? I like it. Now, the material that they give you, when you're choosing, you get 3 options. At least that's what I got in the closed beta. One was for like the gold money material. One was for, I think, like leveling stuff. And then I chose this one because, honestly, I have no idea what it is. It says something to do with the memory fragments, so I would assume it's with potential dupes. Maybe this is going to be really OP in the future. Don't know, but when that time comes, if I'm playing the game, I will definitely let y'all know. And so those are the 2 things that I wanted to cover in this video, but if you want to stick around, I am going to go run that battle mission and see what that was about. I will say there is a small bug with the sound effects. Some of them just pull through so much louder than others. I'll just let this run on auto. For the chaos game mode, there is no auto, but for this game mode, like the simulations, there is auto for it, so it makes it very nice. Actually, I'm gonna play through this because they are gonna go too slow. Go with my lead attack or lead skill. Because I have enough shield to tank, I'm just gonna attack this guy. Hoping to have some kind of crazy fight. Oh, I love the designs. These are so cool. These 2 dudes are awesome. They look so cool. Let's see.
信じてる苦しみは深まり失敗したらどうしよう。不運がどんなものかもう溢れ出せ。艦長信じてるよ。一番の苦痛を。準備できました。何すればいいんだ。せい。行きます。
That guy's so close to dying. That's so unfortunate.
私の氷は硬いんだぞ。失敗したらどうしよう。広がれ。
That's for sure.
なんでもほんと任せて。艦長信じてる。私の不運は失敗した。艦長さ失敗した。
Man, this Magnus save data is so good. So good.
準備でき力になってみせます。確認します。闇をかき集めて。艦長信じてるよ。はっ準備できました。失敗だ。気をつけて。せい。艦長闇の力で準備できました。広がれ。
This dude's dead because he's got the agony or poison on him.
慎重に。
Here.
失敗し一番の苦痛を。
That was cool.
お守りが効いたのかな。
Not too bad.
よかった。
Well, that was some gameplay at the end of the video. If y'all want to see more Chaos Zero Nightmare content, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. Be sure to share this with your friends, with your family, and with your friends' family, so that way we can get to be more in the know about Chaos Zero Nightmare. Let me know if you'll play it down below in the comments, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace!